Welcome, seekers and visionaries, to Oracle Mountain Chats. Here on this sacred virtual peak, we gather a space for oracles to share their wisdom, their visions, and their craft. It all began with a calling I could not ignore. One day, within a vision, I held this conch shell in my hands, and as I blew its resonant note into the world, I felt its vibration ripple across unseen realms. It was a summons, a signal to fellow oracles scattered near and far. I saw that we were on a mountain, vast and towering, reaching into the heavens. At its base, the world buzzed with life, people moving, creating, searching. Yet at the summit, there was stillness, clarity, and a circle of light. There, oracles stood, their gaze focused both outward and inward. They spoke of the energies they felt, the shifts they saw, and the whispers of the unseen. They weren't above the world, they were its witnesses and its guides. From this vision, OracleFest was born, a celebration of connection, insight, and the timeless wisdom that flows through us all. The message was clear. It is time. Time to meet upon this sacred mountain, to share what we hear, feel, and see. Time to bring the wisdom of the divine to a world that is yearning for its guidance. Through OracleFest, we've created a movement of community, all yearning to empower their own inner oracle. And here in Oracle Mountain Chats, we bring that spirit into a more intimate space. This is where the oracles gather to reflect, exchange ideas, and to explore what wishes to come through in the moment. This mountain is more than stone and sky. It is a meeting place of the realms, a threshold between seen and unseen, known and unknown. Here we gather as oracles to share the visions Spirit whispers to us, to speak of the energy currents flowing through nature and humanity, and to help guide those who seek answers in a world that often feels lost. So grab a seat, breathe in the mountain air, and join us as we begin today's chat. Whether it's an energy reading, a conversation about our craft, our path, or simply sharing a perspective on the world below, this is where we wait for more oracles to join us on the mountain. What wisdom will the mountain bring us today? Let's find out together. Step into this sacred space where the wisdom of the ages converges with the questions of the present. Okay, welcome back to Oracle Mountain, this lovely virtual mountain peak where we sit and hang out as oracles would if they gathered way back when, but also today. And today I find myself sitting with the lovely DeeAnna Nagel, who is a psychotherapist, a certified aromatherapist. There's another one I'm missing.
Oh, I'm a coach.
And a coach as well, but mostly and most importantly guided by intuition, and really I would say well supported by the essential oils, which I have also a special affinity for. Early on, I'm not sure if I actually shared this with you. I know I shared with you that I'm a certified aromatherapist as well, but it was early on in my healing work, doing more in-person body work, that essential oils became a fascination for me. And so I knew I had to learn more about them. What I realized was I didn't even need to actually always apply the oils in order for them to have a very beautiful effect, which meant there's something energetic happening here too that led me on
Yep.
a whole path of discovery. I'm sure that we share that fascination with.
Yeah.
So we are so blessed to have you at OracleFest, and
Thank you.
would love, yeah, oh, thank you. And would love to hear more about what maybe drew you to essential oils, or something that's on your mind today about oils or the power of them or intuition.
What drew me to essential oils was a friend of mine who invited me to lunch. She was also a therapist. Um, and when I showed up, the centerpiece on the table was this box with a whole bunch of little bottles. And I thought, well, that's odd. I didn't know essential oils from, I didn't know. And so she said, I want to share with you. I'm really into these essential oils now. And then all of a sudden I got this feeling like, okay, am I at an Amway lunch? Is this like Tupperware? Come on,
Fear creeps in.
really? Right? So she takes the bottles out and I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm allergic to everything fragrance. No, nope. Can't go down the laundry aisle at the grocery store. No.
Oh,
And she starts telling me, these oils are all pure. There's no chemicals, there's no artificial anything. And I'm listening. And so anyway, I finally agreed to sniff, I don't know, lemon. I thought, who's allergic to lemon? That'll be innocuous, right? Um, and because she was my friend, I bought a kit and it came with a diffuser. And I had no idea. My entire world changed. My life changed. So it started out first, one of the oils in the kit was a eucalyptus blend. And I have a lung disorder, so
oh,
I just started using it
that would
like
be a
every day.
powerhouse. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it really, really improved my physical health.
Hmm.
Um, you know, obviously it didn't cure me, but the oils really supported my respiratory system. And then as I got involved with the oils more, I too realized, oh, there's a frequency here. There's something going on here. There's little beings in a bottle,
Mm.
earth in a bottle. So I went to a sniff party. Like, okay,
We gotta be in this context to really make that make sense.
right, right. Okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna huff oils? Like,
Yeah, tell me again what this party is.
so I get to there's like 7 or 8 of us around a table, and we're passing oils around, sniffing and talking about what they're for. And this one oil passed by me, and I had my first scent memory.
Mm,
I remembered my grandmother. I smelled her garden. Um, it was just incredible, and it was like she was in the room. Um, and after that, that was it. I mean, it just for for some people, the olfactory sense is a portal.
absolutely. And they thank you also for mentioning the olfactory, because that's our sense of smell and how it connects to our brain, that whole little
Yep.
system that we have. And it's underrated, I think. And so this is why I was so excited for you to be here and to be at Oracle Fest, because this is like I feel on a personal mission here. We were talking about Joan of Arc earlier in your necklace and going, yeah, I mean that's the vision. It's like essential oils, there's more to it, right? That's the dream that's kind of come in through you here. And I share that there's a, a really fascinating, I think, connection between how we relate to all things in earth. So that's why also when people relate to animals, it's so powerful, it's so impactful, because it's something that's just a remembrance. And I tend to see with mediumship, just like you say, that nostalgia, that connection. Scent, apparently, science says anyway, that our scent is the most connected to memory of all of our other senses.
Hmm.
So wouldn't that make the most sense that people who have passed on come through that, because they hold memory and some sort of thought or energetic based memory of their spirit, of their essence. And I've had
Right.
similar, right? I think it's a really fascinating link. Not everyone talks about that or knows that scent is one of these ways, specifically I would say, to memories and mediumship.
Yeah, and I read, because I'm geeky like this, I read a study
Love
that,
it.
anyway, it basically said that if you, to unblock your creativity like a writer's block, scent is much more powerful than sound.
Mm.
That is what the study revealed, and I thought that was fascinating.
Which, I mean, to someone like you or I, where we would naturally have a scent around to clear our mind space before going into something creative, for people who haven't unlocked that yet, this could be a game changer.
Right, right.
This could
So,
be massive.
and it wasn't just, you know, helping with my respiratory system and really just ratcheting up my clairsenses. It was also just, because I had a lung disorder and I've had it for 25 years, exposed to black mold. Um,
Wow.
I can't spend a lot of time outside in nature. Like
Mm,
that just doesn't work for me. I'm not doing bonfires.
mhm,
I'm not frolicking through a field. None of that's
mm,
happening for me. And
mm,
so the little bottles of oil were like bringing earth into my home.
mm.
Like I was able to experience the vibrancy of Mother Earth without difficulty for the first time in a long time.
And that's a story not a lot of people will be familiar with. A lot of people go outside and they don't think anything of it. So I appreciate you sharing that too. There's also a lot of people who do just opt to be inside because we forget sometimes the connection to nature. So it's a beautiful remembrance you've given yourself by coming across essential oils as well.
Yeah, and so since then, essential oils, became integrated in my work. Um, I, I am a brand partner with one of the larger oil companies, but that's never been my full focus.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the oils are my focus, and however I can integrate that into my work and to support others. So I support some people who join under me, so to speak, but that's not really why I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I do it because there's magic there, or
Absolutely.
opening my olfactory sense and that portal just like I've always been intuitive, but wow, it just popped me open.
Mm, mm. I
Yeah.
can really feel and get a sense of the power that it had for you. And I wonder too, I was just talking about this as well. Feels like I'm just repeating conversations this week. You know how that goes.
That-
Um, but I was just feeling that out recently, thinking, it is really about an experience. So when I think about people coming to Oracle Fest and having experiences with all these different topics, that opens them up to, oop, that's going to be the one that sticks for you. This is a really important one, right? This essential oils hit you similarly to how they hit me, where it's, whoa, oh, there's something really deep in here that's meant for me. There's something that is a medicine for me
yes.
in this. And I find them extremely potent with, there was this time in my life, and maybe my whole life story, but there was this time in my life I was specifically doing some heart healing. And I was really wanting to connect to my own pure heart. It felt like it had gotten through a couple beatings, metaphorically. And I found Rose, and Rose was so um, life
Mhm.
altering for me. Truly, I like it's. I'm really, a lot of people know me. I'm not actually a big sensational type of person. When it comes to Rose, I will be a bit sensational. I'll be a little overly enthusiastic about the power of Rose essential oil because it had such an impact on my whole spirit. It felt like I was able to come back to myself and my pure, yeah, like more of like a child. I mean, I'm wearing rose quartz today. There's something in it, in this vibration anyways, for me. Maybe for someone else it would be a frankincense or a sandalwood or something with that kind of earthy, deeper essence. For me it has been rose in this transformational space of the heart. I literally have a rose oracle, the rose pocket oracle from Rebecca Campbell, sitting right by me here, and my mom's name is Rose, and my
Oh,
blanket has roses. Yeah, so there's a lot of that energy. It was like specifically charged for me, and the remembrance felt so much deeper than a memory. It felt like an energetic, a feeling based, a vibrational memory. And so I know and I believe in what you're saying about bringing the power of earth in to your space and into also your physical, your soul space, your body and your soul space, like right close to you. Whereas in nature, how do we collect a whole bunch of frankincense when we live nowhere near it? Right. So there is
Exactly.
this, like, that is a really cool thing that our markets have shifted so we can access aspects of nature we maybe wouldn't even be able to expose ourselves to.
So I have a rose story.
Go on.
I'm just tapping my phone volume down in case it rings. Sorry.
Beautiful. I had that
Um,
thought actually a few minutes ago, and I would be really embarrassed if it was me and not you that that happened to. So I will do the same.
so I used to have a brick and mortar aromatherapy shop, and I did readings. We sold the oils, books, just gifty stuff, a lot of floral, like china cups and anything with flowers on it. Um, and I decided to create my own smudge mist. So I wanted to have some holy water in the smudge mist. And I wasn't going to go knock on the church door and say, could I have some holy water? So I Googled holy water and I ordered a bottle of holy water from Lords of France. They have a Catholic shop and you get it's beautifully packaged. And every time I would get an order of the holy water, there would be like the size of a baseball card, a prayer card
Mm.
of Saint Bernadette. I never paid any attention. Like, okay, I kind of know who she is. Once I paid attention after like the third order, about a week later, my father said to me, you know what I watched on TV last night? A very old movie, Saint Bernadette. It was like 1940 something, won an Academy Award. And he said, she reminds me of you. Like, okay, that's interesting. So I bought him the book to read, and I'm going about my business. That's special. Okay. So I wake up one morning and I live in a loft apartment, and my sister-in-law lives in an apartment below me. And I'm laying in bed and I smell this waft of rose, like so strong, so strong. And Marlise had just moved in. So, and she knows I'm sensitive to everything. And I knew she wasn't like using rose like a powerhouse oil because it's very expensive. So I'm like, why is this so powerful? And I went downstairs, knocked on her door, getting ready to say, whatever like air freshener you're using, stop. And as soon as I knocked on the door and she answered, I realized it was Saint Bernadette.
Mm.
She was just tapping in. And if you see any picture of Saint Bernadette, she has roses at her feet. So has become one of my spirit guides, and um, my father has since passed away. But the book was beside his bedstand, and there's still a bookmark in it with he had signed it. So I found that recently. So that's my rose story.
That is beautiful. And it's such a perfect Rose story because it's like the energy of Rose was like throughout that, actually, even just all the connections and loss and grief as well as a part of that whole. I mean, truly, it makes sense. I have an experience with Rose on the Rose line in France, in the Saint Sulpice Church as well. It's amazing how you're just walking and carrying on through your life. I was just eating macaron in France, thinking nothing of it. I wandered in thinking it was a museum. I end up having this immense, beautiful spiritual experience. Oh, the Rose Line. Funny that. Funny how these things circle in and we follow them. I know that you are also extremely guided by your intuition. Has that led you on some interesting journeys, would you say, in your life?
Oh yeah, just a little bit.
Looks
Um,
looks a little shell shocked.
yeah, I mean, even coming out as an intuitive.
Right. How must that have been for you?
very scary.
Mm,
I've always been intuitive. As a child, I was one of those, oh, she's touched, one of those. I was very sensitive. As a teenager, all my friends would say, "What do you think of that person?"
mm,
Um, as a young adult, if somebody was dating somebody, "What do you think of my new partner?"
mm.
Um, always wanted to get my Spidey vibes.
Yep.
And that was all fine and good, but most of the time in the early days, I only was able to intuit the dark, the shadow side. If I could go into a house and know it was haunted,
Mhm.
I could sense something negative about to happen. I never like sensed an abundance of joy. It
Mhm.
was always it was always the um
Warnings or something.
yeah. So at some point I didn't know what to do with that. So I just tucked it away.
Right.
I just put it on a shelf. I'm like, I can't do that. And I went to school and became a counselor. And I think I went to graduate school to justify my intuition.
Mm-hmm. I think this is a
And
common story.
yeah. So the first 10 years of my career, I used my intuition, not not overtly, but like I did a lot of forensic evaluations and somebody could walk in and I would know immediately what was going on. But you can't tell the judge that when you're doing an evaluation for court. So I would do all of the valid and reliable instruments and write the report, and the instruments almost always backed up my hunch. So I was using my intuition. I just wasn't intentionally using it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And then I ended up in the doctor's office, some iteration of my lung stuff. And I remember sitting in the car going, now what? And literally a sign came down, like a neon sign, quite the download that said, learn Reiki.
Mm.
I'm like, Reiki? Do I even know what Reiki is? Okay, so I followed that lead, and that lead led me to Reiki and then energy healing and essential oils. And it's really the essential oils that popped it open for me. And I guess almost also helped me be less afraid, and gave me more positive experiences. Like my first scent memory with the oils was my grandmother in the garden, not some dark warning. Um,
Right.
and so that was the beginning of my intuitive journey, and it was not received well by my colleagues.
Hmm.
I was told I was committing professional suicide. I'm like,
It's
okay,
so dramatic.
right. Okay. We're not that precious. It's okay.
Oh, and actually, you've done all right. It
Yeah,
hasn't burned and crashed, and
no, not at
it's
all.
yeah, it's no brimstone here.
No, no, but and I know that a lot of people who said that to me, and some of them were strangers,
Hmm.
just colleagues online that I didn't know personally. They were coming at it from their own level of fear.
Of course, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it easy for you as the individual, though. I'm sure in some inside part of ourselves, that is not an easy path. And I hope as time goes on and information gets shared more openly, that more and more people feel a little less afraid of whatever that unknown is to them, right? Especially you'd think in realms of science and interest, that there would be some continued curiosity at the what we
Well,
might not know.
there is a shift.
Absolutely.
I'm seeing more and more therapists land in my courses because
Hmm.
they're curious. They want to do their work a different way.
Hmm.
They want to work above the wellness line, not in the pathology sandbox, you know,
Absolutely.
being married to insurance companies that force you to give a diagnosis. And, you
Hmm.
know, that's not always necessary. Most of the time,
Absolutely.
it's not.
And at least in some way, also, if you are stuck in that land, if anyone is listening and curious and kind of feeling stuck in that land, that there are some ways to complement as well the work that is getting done. That how could this hurt? Is my thought truly? How could it hurt to have more tools and more access for all people? And I think that's
Right.
part of the reason for, anyways, my mission within OracleFest, because there are multiple psychotherapists within OracleFest, which is beautiful and important. I think it's like we need to be weaving these voices wherever possible together.
Yes. So any therapists that are listening, yes, you can do this work and do it ethically using intuitive tools.
I love that. I think it's much more important from your voice to hear that from your expertise to be able to reaffirm that for people. Hey, I was wondering, would you mind using some of that intuition with your own deck? Because I want you to show everyone your deck.
Oh, you mean this one?
Oh, this one sitting right here. Talk us through the inspiration, or maybe how did you say, okay, it's time, I'm making a deck? And yeah, I know you have quite a story,
Yeah, it
journey.
percolated for a while
Mm.
before it, certainly before it became an end product. But I wanted to do something around the use of oils with the cards, and that was it was very like, yeah, okay, what's that look like? I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Step two, please. Show us your step two.
and I had been using Oracle cards for quite a while. Um, and I just really wanted to create a deck that had my lexicon imprinted on it. Every deck is different, and that's the beauty of Oracle decks to me.
Mhm.
Every deck is different. Every messenger is a different messenger. Um, and I use this deck in combination with other decks still. But I also wanted it to be a tool that could be for anybody that wants to learn from the Oracle, and therapists and coaches and healers as a teaching tool. So this deck is the primary deck I use in my Oracle Reader course. It's yes, Sarah, I have the cards out. My cat is very aware of what's happening.
I love when when all the cards are out and then all the animals appear. I know things are going to happen, you know? Yeah, it happens all the time on the empath energetics calls. I actually like I know a lot of my clients' animals by name now because I'm so familiar. The other day, this is a tiny story, but the other day, one of these dogs that I just love from afar, haven't met it in person, shows up and sat in the center of the screen, like as if she was attending, like as if she was sitting there just saying, "Oh, I'm just holding the spot until the owner comes back," you know. And it was hilarious. I could see the joy in all the different people's eyes going, this is so funny, this dog is just attending class. Just
That's too funny.
perfectly squared up, framed, this big boxer pup. She was so funny.
Yeah, Sarah appears sometimes. Sometimes she just runs around like a mad cat
Yep.
when I pull the cards out, and then other times she'll join me. So
Yeah, I love
we'll
that.
see what she does.
Yep, we will see.
So it comes with a guidebook,
Beautiful.
and so there's 49 cards, 7 cards per chakra,
Ah,
and
beautiful.
we match it with what for instance, the root chakra, we call it sanctuary.
Mm,
The crown chakra, we call it transcendence. And
mm-hmm.
in the guidebook, there's the message, there are keywords, there's a chakra mantra, the recommended essential oil, the recommended crystal, the affirmation. And then there are 2 journal prompts. One is if the card is upright, and the other one is if the card is in reverse, and that means that's shadow work.
Beautiful.
So it's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah.
But the cards themselves are very simple. We used monochromatic black and white art on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Lovely.
would you
Oh,
like to, what would you like to ask the Oracle?
ooh. I would love to ask the Oracle. Mm, well, it's interesting. When I was with Tara Kenzie, we were asking first the Oracle. Um, she was using her Soul Path Oracle deck. And first we asked about Oracle Fest, the event in general, and the energy of it. And then the next time I met with her, we were on a podcast on her side, and we read into Oracle Fest in person events. And so I am open to, if some more clarity or other question comes through you, I would also be curious to know, um, what do the Oracle Fest attendees and potential attendees need to know about the Oracle Fest experience, or how might they ready themselves for their Oracle Fest experience?
Okay. Okay, so we're going to ask the Oracle what do potential attendees need to understand about this Oracle Fest experience?
Yeah, yeah, perhaps like what I haven't even seen to be able to share with them yet, you know? Yeah, what else do we need to show them?
And we know there are many ways to choose a card. I've just got them fanned out, and I'm going to choose one.
Beautiful.
And the card that comes up is all work and no play.
Mm,
This is a guitar and a calculator and a pair of glasses. And the keywords are balance, fun, and function.
mm,
So this is sacral chakra. Fun is always sacral chakra.
yep.
And the message is responsibility. This single word has such weight to it, doesn't it? Sure, we have a responsibility to complete tasks, pay bills, tend to family matters, etc. However, we also have a responsibility to not just decompress and de-stress, but to relax and recreate, revel, and romp. Balance is key. Find ways to enjoy your work, but also find time to just go goof off and frolic. So, the journal prompt for anybody that's listening that wants to think about this and write on it later. What did you love doing as a kid that made you lose track of time? What I get from this card and Oracle Fest is for those of you that are coming to Oracle Fest to garner more skill, just let that go. That will happen on its own.
Hmm.
Just come and enjoy. Just take the pieces that fit.
Mm. I
Does that
love
resonate for you?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm soaking it in. I really love that. It speaks to a lot of similar whispers that I've heard in different conversations between all us speakers about the idea that we are also, even the speakers, coming to play and coming to experience together what could be possible when we share in this knowledge in a space that honors each of us in some sort of equal measure, and that we can take ourselves too seriously, especially on this spiritual path. And honestly, I think every one of the speakers who's joining us kind of gets that we need that sense of humor. We have to lighten up and play if we're going to get anywhere, really, right? Because we end up going in circles when we've got this clipboard out and check and that's in alignment and this is working and da 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 da. And at the same time, I know a lot of people are going to feel driven to come in and to to explore and to expand, and it's just like taking the pressure off of that, while saying, yeah, there's going to be a lot that can happen, but we don't get to choose and control what those moments are going to be. Someone could show up to your talk thinking, oh, I was here thinking I was going to go and explore this one topic over that way. They could walk into your talk and that could be their apple falling on the head moment that,
Yeah.
just really gives them an experience. And to be in an experience, we have to have an open mind, that kind of curious. Tara has a similar idea that she pulled out the inner child as the overarching energy, this divine child, right? This
Yes.
divine child in all of us. We all just want to play with each other and tell us, hey, over here we make potions and lotions and balms, and over here we have a divining rod, and over here we have, we dream together. And so there are a lot of ways I can resonate with that card as well. And in some way, I was asking about myself and the readiness for OracleFest, and that would be also the responsibility to show up and play. I kind of like that it gave me both messages there. There's a sense of personal responsibility to play and to express our soul and our childlike selves.
Yeah, and the journal prompt was, what did you love doing as a kid that made you lose track of time?
Absolutely.
Like, what
Absolutely.
was that fun thing? And
I
so bringing that sense of spirit into Oracle Fest, I think is everybody's next right action.
love that. Love that. That is exactly, you couldn't have just delivered a better message if I'd somehow chosen the card myself.
And we also have the Essential Soul Care. And the reason I pulled this out is we call it a playbook on
Playbook.
purpose.
Oh,
It's a big, what looks like a workbook, but it's play. Like just
right.
play in this stuff.
Right.
And I have to give credit to my co-author, Madison Lee Akridge, who we literally sat in my living room for 3 days and channeled these messages.
Mm,
And how do we know they're channeled? Because for the most part, when we look at the cards, the book, we don't know who wrote which message,
right.
right? And there's no difference in the use of language. It all just flowed.
Yeah. And there's no attachment
No.
to how these get handled. And I definitely have had that experience. I think actually probably hopefully most of the people who are coming to Oracle Fest have had some sort of experience where something's writing for them or it's getting written through you and not necessarily by the you that you are used to.
Yeah, which is, yeah, what we talked about earlier. Just
Absolutely.
I might do a little writing exercise for Oracle Fest.
I so love that idea. And I respect the idea that we are trying to keep some surprises. As the oracles would, we would hide something behind the veil until the moment, there has to be some level of gentle theatrics, I think, when it comes to most of this work, as the universe sort of in spirit has a bit of that humor and theatrical way with us as well. So
Yeah,
I yeah,
yeah. But just a heads up, you might want to bring your pen and paper
bring a pen,
or
bring a
crayons.
paper. That is for every session, but especially DeeAnna's session, because it will pay off in dividends if you apply yourself and open yourself up to what's going to come through you. And I already recognize the power of scent, and I'm so thrilled that you hold. There's this vision of Oracle Mountain where we all have a torch, and each of our torches shine a different flame and a different light,
Mhm.
but they come together in this universal fire that we all are a part of. We continue dipping back in and out of, carrying it for others and lighting the way, as a luminary. Your flame being lit with the power of essential oils, maybe that's the fuel you have on this torch. I am so grateful for. It feels so important to me that, especially now in this time, people are familiar with essential oils. What about that next deeper step? What about that? Ooh, there was something to this. What would
Yep.
that beyond look like? And I think you're such a great guide for that.
Thank you. Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Well,
My pleasure.
it's meaningful to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the memories. I think because we're talking about the olfactory system, I'm replaying all my little scent experiences as well. So I know I'll also glean a lot of comfort in hearing more from you. I would say this is a beautiful time for us to wrap up and off before we start revealing all that's going
I
to be
know,
revealed
right?
at Oracle Fest. I know. It's funny because right now it's getting close to the holidays, and I think, man, that is difficult. I'm such an honest person. It's difficult to hold these surprises in around the holiday season, even of just what gifts you've got for people and things like that. You go, ooh, it's that kind of excitement that I'm filled with in knowing what is going to come out at Oracle Fest. So thank you very much. Thank you so much for your reading,
Thank you.
for showing us, and for taking part.
And
And
thank you for doing this.
hey, came through me, Joan of Arc, like this vision woke me up, and just wandering from village to village. Thank goodness I've met some nice people along the way. No, I appreciate that as well. Not just trying to be silly about it. I appreciate that. I think we're doing it together, and I'm happy to, yeah, to be kind of hand in hand with everyone.
Thank you. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to it. I look forward to the play and the frolic.
Yes, playing and frolicking. That's what we'll do. Maybe I need a
Yes.
play and frolic meadow somewhere in this festival. We'll maybe try and find a space for more play and frolic. Thank you so much, DeeAnna, and to everyone else, enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope to see you at OracleFest.
Bye.